Windows Phone is dead. Okay, that's not really news. Also, it was actually called Windows Mobile. And interesting, it's not so dead at all. I'm recording this video in October 2022. And in my left pocket I have the phone I'm using daily. Believe it or not, it's a Microsoft Lumia 550. It is working fine, even though the top glass is broken and Microsoft cancelled the support for Windows 10 Mobile finally on January 14th in the year 2020, nearly 3 years ago. To be honest, they did nothing at all to improve the system since 2017. Just a few security fixes were released for the mobile Windows version, and each single one fixed one thing and destroyed another part of the system. Stop, don't let me get confused. This is the topic of a video of the future. Today we will concentrate on the fact that I'm still using Windows Phone. I will show you some basic functions and we will try to repair this genius Microsoft branded device. Since I'm wearing the wrong jacket, I will be back in about 19 seconds with my Windows Phone video jacket. A warm welcome to you. I am Daniel and you are watching Technology Confused. Just between us, I wrote the script for this and I have to tell you, this video will get long, but not boring. However, if you feel like, I do not want to watch it, feel free to make yourself some coffee, clean your house or even go to the circus. But under any circumstances, leave the device in playback mode. Stopping this video may result in unexpected anger on my side. Here we are with the Lumia 550. Since I love the simplicity of the user interface of Windows 10 Mobile, okay, first public beta versions made a lot more sense than the actual release. But this is the topic of a future video. My biggest concern is how can I keep it alive as long as possible? And your concern, of course, is why does he even think about something so absurd? Before we get into this, I have to point out what I really need from my cell phone. Over the years I realized this is not so much at all. I want to telephone, obviously. Texting is also necessary, since many humans prefer to type many letters stupidly into an electronic device instead of just speaking to each another in real time, what clearly could be achieved with a cell phone. Duh! Also, I like my contacts synchronized with Microsoft Outlook on my PC. I like to take a photo when I have to read the password of an web GUI, which is printed on a label sticking on the back of the printer and is printed in such small letters that even ants would have difficulties to read the symbols without a magnifier. Apart from the fact that this label is on the back of the machine, which is facing the wall in the opposite direction of me, because the printer is located in a closet behind the desk. And there is no way to actually see it. Oh, I drifted away a little, sorry for that. And in my case, I really would like to use TeamViewer to get access to my customer servers in precarious situations, like when I'm sitting in the underground and the implied server is doing whatever it likes, but not what it is intended to do. Okay, a Wi-Fi sniffer and a speed test would also be fine, but not essentially necessary. This brings me back to the Lumia 550. This phone was released in December 2015 by Microsoft after they bought the Nokia cell phone division and they were all together on the straight way to hell. This is a common thing with Microsoft and will be the topic of another video. This phone was backed with the finest features you could think of in 2015. The mobile network access is available in GSM, HSPA, LTE, Bluetooth 4.1, FM radio and Wi-Fi with hotspot functionality. The display is enormous 4.7 inches with 720 x 1280 pixels and able many colors to show you. The quad-core 1.1 GHz Cortex A7 runs a beautiful Windows 10 mobile and provides a photo app which drives the 5 megapixel camera in the back or the 2 megapixel camera for self-face capturing. Since a headphone jack is also included, it is even possible to plug in a headset besides the very annoying micro USB 2 port to transfer data or charge this masterpiece of art and technology. This whole package of wonder was for sale for about $90 in the USA. Sadly, this model was discontinued even before the rest of its sisters and brothers in the Microsoft Mobile division. Redmond's Magic Company announced on its website: as of December 10, 2019, Windows 10 mobile users are not longer eligible to receive new security updates, non-security hotfixes, free assisted support options or online technical content updates from Microsoft for free. They also stated, after the end of support, automatic or manual creation of device backups for settings and some applications will continue for 3 months, ending March 10, 2020. Some services, including photo uploads and restoring a device from an existing device backup, may continue to work for up to another 12 months from end of support. This statement is clearly in the best interest of Microsoft, of course, but not entirely true. Stay tuned for more information about this. The reason for this specific video is that I have issues with my Lumia 550. Actually, I had issues since I started using Windows phones. However, this Lumia 550 shows behavior which is quite unexpected. I will get into this after this very important information. According to my in-house device list, I used this model from 2016 on. It is the 4th Lumia 550 I'm using on a daily basis for various reasons. According to my all-knowing Excel spreadsheet, I used quite a lot Lumias over the years. For sure I used the 710, 900, 630 and the 550 obviously. I also tried the succeeding model, the Lumia 650, which literally broke a few days later while it was in my pocket, because the thinner and also larger device was just not able to handle the physical stress of my daily movements. A note beside, in 2018 I bought one of nearly every existing Lumia model. As far as I know, there were 41 different devices released. Today I own 37 of them. The plan is to show them in the Eitle Kindergarten Neulenkbach. You can see them here. I mean, you could, if I would be able to find them at the moment. Before we actually screw this phone, I will tell you the base function of this device. To boot the cell phone, we press the power button a second, until the phone vibrates shortly. The power button, also called lock button, is located in the middle of the right side of the Lumia and easy to reach with the thumb while holding the phone in the right hand. While booting, we can enjoy the Microsoft Boot logo for a few seconds, followed by the creatively never topped Windows 10 logo. I'm just kidding, of course. It is the worst Microsoft logo ever. Please compare yourself. After startup, the device would ask for a device pin or similar thing if activated. And in my case, because of the fear, a thief could use all my free minutes and order multiple goods in my name and on my bill, I use a SIM pin code, which I have to provide now. I will not tell you my 4-digit secret, but I assure you it is not 1, 2, 3, 4. After the numbers are provided, I have to touch the silly little OK button, which is located at the right middle. No one knows why that is. However, I have to aim very carefully to hit it and not activate another digit and destroy my SIM card by accident. Yes, I know, everything is in German language now, but we will manage, I promise you. Windows 10 Mobile is a very basic system. That's what I like about it. No fancy stuff, not too much different colors, and so on. The tiles, as we call the rectangular squares on the first screen we will see, called start page by the way, are very easy to arrange. Just hold one of them for a few seconds and then slide them around as you wish. I love this animation of different tiles while doing so. Look how funny they waggle around, like fish in the sea. Oh shoot, now I created a group that I do not like at all. How can we get rid of it? Very difficultly. Now we have to drag out everything to get rid of the group itself. So let's do that. I did that intentional, of course, so you can see how you can repair such a mess. We have to slide one of these two tiles out of the group, then open the group again and slide out the other thing also. No, don't let it go above another tile, otherwise it will create the next group. See, you have to drag it slowly and then you must wait between two tiles until they move apart before you let it go. See? Very easy to use. Why can't you see that? It's fact! I find it very pleasing to be able to change the size of most tiles in 3 steps. Just touch the small arrow in movement mode and the size will jump around happily. To fix it, just touch anywhere beside the modified tile. By the way, there's just one start page. It will expand as wide as needed downwards. The user can arrange most important symbols at the top and rarer needed ones at the bottom of the central user interface. Or just put them into multiple groups, so he has some fun while searching for the right tile for the job. Enough of tiles. Sliding up and down moves the start page in the corresponding way. A wipe from the top to the bottom in any situation, in any app, brings you kind of a shortcut to Wi-Fi networks, hotspot and flashlight, or whatever you have pinned to this fast access area. Since we are in wipe mode already, a wipe from the bottom to the top will show you the home, back and search button in any situation on this device. Sliding the start page from the left to the right will do nothing at all. Touching the All Apps text or wiping from the right to the left will bring up the list of installed apps and the way to settings. This list is a little annoying because it works only in portrait mode. No landscape is supported here, as well as on the start page. I think Microsoft saved this feature for a version of Windows 11 Mobile, so they could have marketed this as a great deal. But it never came, as you know already. As you can see, I have just a few apps installed. There is a very limited number of apps available for Windows 10 Mobile and I just paid once for an app at all. It was fast food coupons. I was actually able to get one burger a few cents cheaper before they cancelled the support entirely. Most Windows 10 mobile apps are just dead now. But at least this one shows a nice black screen and even enables you to see the name of your favorite fast food chain at the top. That is something! In panic of secure communication over the World Wide Web and the immense spread of JavaScript-based websites, Microsoft's beloved original Edge app shipped with Windows 10 Mobile is quite overwhelmed with protocol versions and a load of programming language stuff, which is not at all supported. So I tried all existing free browser apps for this system, and all of them failed on many websites. However, I can access my own websites because they are all programmed in a classic way to still work with Internet Explorer 9 and all newer browser versions. And some sites of others are working too. Pardon? YouTube? I was afraid you will come up with that one. So let's give it a try. We are going back to the start page. Touch the shiny white E to load Microsoft Edge. And here is our little integrated Microsoft browser. Now we touch the address bar and magically an on-screen keyboard appears. Since the currently shown web address is highlighted already, we could just type in what we are searching for. But since we are here already, let's talk about the on-screen keyboard. It is quite handy, I have to say. Since I'm an Austrian, I'm using the German layout, of course. You know, over here we interchange S and Y. We also have so silly things like letters with dots above them. These are to reach by pushing the corresponding button for a similar letter for a second. Here we have these options for A to get the letter Ä, on O to get the letter Ö, and on U to get the letter Ü. You can see here that this keyboard offers numbers also, even if they are not shown at first glance. So you can quickly access a single number if needed. By the way, S offers also a German specialty, the scharfes S. It is still around in our language, even though its appearance decreases by one spelling reform after another. By touching the Shift key button for a short time, the next letter will be uppercase. If you hold the Shift key for a second, Caps Lock is activated. Since I hate smileys, I will grant you just a short glance on these. Then switch back to the letter section, followed by the keyboard of numbers behind the 1 to 3 button. Here we find the numbers 1 to O and all supported special characters over 2 pages of the keyboard. Behind the clamps are all kind of clamps hidden, as well as behind the quotation mark other symbols. The ABS button brings us back to the leather keyboard. You may have noticed that there is no delete button. This is quite annoying, I must admit. However, this on-screen wonder offers a way to navigate the cursor in the text, beside the pain in the vegetable way as you are using on your phone, the touching between 2 characters in the text, which by design cannot work with a thick finger like mine on such a small display. By holding this little blue knob, cursor arrows appear, which you cannot see because they are below my finger, and disappear as soon as I remove my hand. However, if I slide from the dot to the left, the cursor moves 1 letter to the left. Same goes for north, ost and south. This is quite handy, I like it very much. So we can move the cursor to the right side of the symbol we want to remove, and then hit the backspace button to delete it. Speaking of moving in text areas we can touch to position the cursor nearly where we want it. Double touch to highlight a word. Then we have copy and paste symbols in context to the highlighted area and little circles to highlight areas besides the current one, by sliding them around. Neat indeed! What was our plan initially? Oh yes, you asked for YouTube. Well, let's try it. I type in Y and my phone is aware of what I want next, because it remembers the 2000 trillion times I did that before. In the right button is the return symbol, even if it's an arrow to the right only. And here we are, our beloved video sharing platform is loading in the mobile version. Believe it or not, it is fully functional on this by 2022 7-year-old and since 4 years no longer supported mobile device.
Ihr seht hier unser Schiebezugsystem. Was noch nicht da war. Jetzt hier die Beschleunigungsspur nach unten.
So, last stop before we are talking about problems of this specific phone. Let's talk about general problem solving. You all heard the solution to all problems of any kind on electronic devices. I tell each and every person calling me because there are problems of any kind. Power the thing down, disconnect it from mains, remove the battery and wait 5 minutes. Then try again and call me back and let me know if everything is working again. Well, in nearly all scenarios where no hardware problem is the issue, this works. So yes, it is a solution, but is it the best solution? What if there is a simpler, a faster, a more productive way? What if it would be possible to spare 2 minutes and save the effort to put in the PIN code or even a fingerprint again? Well, no fingerprint on the Lumia 550 of course, because this device doesn't support that. There are a few tweaks or life hacks, as they are called today, in each and every electronic device, which could make your life more productive or just less annoying for that matter. Talking Lumia, there are a few but important ways to tell the operating system when things do not work out as one wishes. First of all, the emergency power down. If your touchscreen does not react anymore, the buttons on the side are just moving but do not trigger any function, hold down the volume down and power button together for 8 seconds. There will be a short vibration after which the phone should boot up again. In theory, this is the same as removing the battery for a short time. Second of all, if one app does not react anymore, it is often a problem that not even the home button is working. In this case, it is not possible to do anything because the screen is frozen. But it is possible in most such scenarios to hold the back button, which launches a kind of task manager. Here you can slide to the left and to the right and close one or more apps by touching the X on the right upper corner, or just slide the app from the top to the bottom to clear it from memory. I have the issue of not responding every few days in the Contact app, which can be restarted after the procedure I just explained. The third tweak is kind of an app reset while working. Since I wasn't aware that this is even a thing, I could not test it with a not responding app. However, while running any app, this actually restarts immediately if I do so. So, if there is any problem at all, just try it. Push both volume buttons up and down simultaneously 3 times in a row. The phone will accept this command by 3 short vibrates and then the display will flicker. Good luck with this one. To complete this list, I have to mention, if you press the volume up and power button simultaneously, you take a screenshot, which is saved in the standard picture folder. Since we are talking about tweaks, if you have to use your Lumia 550 with just one hand, just hold the start button. Now the top of the display goes black and you can use the device with just one thumb or any other finger which pleases you. To get back into full screen, just tip the black area. By the way, if you're wondering how to actually shut down the Lumia, just hold the power button for a few seconds and then wipe from the top to the bottom. Finally, we are here. Now I can tell you about the problems of my Lumia 550. One issue I have already mentioned. When forcing a restart, sometimes, if I'm filming every time, the device hangs while initiating and just vibrates every second or so. However, that would not be a big issue since the soft reset is not done by me on a daily basis. But from time to time the Lumia restarts at night. I have no idea why that is happening, since no updates were delivered over the last 3 years. It is quite problematic. You remember, I'm using a SIM pin. So, if the phone restarts, it will not log into the mobile network and I'm not reachable for customers and family. Since I do not realize when or why these restarts are happening, and even how long the phone itself is powered off at all, it is very irritating. In fact, it could be that in this scenario the same happens as if I forced a soft reset in the way I told you before. Maybe it just vibrates for hours before it boots up again. This would explain the low battery in some mornings, even though the thing is plugged in the whole night. Another issue is that the touch panel is broken, as you may have noticed. This happened while Lumia was laying on the floor. I put it there to not damage it, while I was moving my Royal Darts SM94 back in its original space. Why I was moving the throw sharp things at me machine? Well, I needed a free play mode and was working on that while stepping on the mobile phone. At least it made a nice cracking sound I really enjoyed. By the way, on that specific day I destroyed the darts machine finally, as I got the cables to the coin receptor confused and fried the CPU board with 48 volts and a lot of amperes. Maybe we will look into that another time. Since it is possible to use the phone's touchscreen in most cases anyway, this damage is not a big issue. However, from time to time, when I'm watching a video on the phone, an input is interpreted wrongly and the device thinks I have touched the back button instead of a point in the video timeline. This of course is very annoying when suddenly the previous website is loading instead the video resuming on another point. The real problem is that the crack is exactly above the photo sensor. This is fooling the system to believe the device is used in bright sunlight, so the display is always driven with highest backlight possible, meaning that it consumes quite a lot of energy and even burns in the clock from the lock screen. Because of this, sometimes I run out of battery in late morning if automatic brightness control is activated. That is the reason I switched to manual mode, which is quite annoying outside in the nature. I cannot see anything there with this setting. Of course, since Windows 10 Mobile is dead and I do not get comfy with Android, I ordered quite a lot of used Lumia 550s to have one at hand whenever my daily phone gets destroyed. Pardon? Oh, I see, you don't believe me? Well, here they are. These are of course only the models which came with the original packing. But I want to save them as long as possible. Who knows how many Lumias I will destroy next week? In other words, I want to fix this one. Luckily, I destroyed another Lumia 550 a few months ago as I jumped into the bathtub in which my wife took a bath at this moment. No, I will not get into details of this one. However, I was still fully clothed and, as I later discovered, I had my phone in my trousers pocket. You can imagine what the result would be. In the water the phone started heating up very quickly. Even in the hot bathtub I could feel something boiling in my pants. It was quite irritating. To make a long story short, the phone was dead. Even 2 weeks later, as I put in a battery pack, it did nothing except a little vibrating. And here it is, my last wet but quite dead Lumia 550. Since the wet one just vibrates, my hope is that the display and touchscreen are still working. The great plan for this video is to switch displays. I never tried this before. However, since I'm in the business, I own a wonderful tablet and notebook toolkit, and I'm not shy to use it. Before we start, it makes sense to make a backup. Sadly, this is not easy on Windows 10 Mobile. Surely one can copy documents and photos over USB to his desktop computer, but settings, app data or just email accounts will not be saved. The only way to backup settings is to use Microsoft's OneDrive. My honest respect to Apple at this point. There you just have to plug in your iDevice like your iPhone or iPad, and iTunes will automatically create a full backup of the whole thing. In fact, with Apple products the problem is backwards. It is quite hard to stop that from happening and prevent iTunes to fill up your Windows boot partition with one backup after another, until it is that full that Windows is nearly unable to boot at all. However, if you plug in a new factory resetted iDevice to your iTunes, it will offer a full restore of your device automatically. And that even works! So you remember, Microsoft stated backups can be done for 3 more months in 2019. Good thing that Microsoft lies a lot, or at least one hand of it does not know what the other one is doing. Fact is, I did a backup on October 4th, 2022 manually on this device, and it even does it automatically from time to time. This I realized after I took a bath with this phone. I started out from scratch with this Lumia, booted it up with factory defaults, connected it to Wi-Fi and logged in with my Microsoft account. This resulted in the offer to restore everything from the cloud. And it did. Of course, accounts crashed and even the email settings were so problematic that I had to start over again. It is from Microsoft, of course. Anyway, we will do a new backup now. Who knows, maybe there is a text message which is really important to me. Now it is time to destroy phones. Let's get on with it! Finally, we have done it. I am very pleased with the fact that I have a working phone again now. You have to be aware of the fact that I'm filming this before I'm actually screwing around with the thing. That is why I do not know if my fiddly handcraft actually worked out. However, if not, I will have activated another Lumia 550, so in any case this text will not be wrong at all. After all, I can only thank you that you stayed by this video track with me. I'm looking forward to the next jacket and I hope you stay tuned to this channel. Do not forget to subscribe me, it will help you out a lot. Have a nice day and a good time between jackets. See you soon on Technology Confused! I'm back with an update. Well, it did not work at all. Fact is, the bathtub phone is fried. Electronics and display are dead. I know that now because I exchanged the displays and the working display did not work on the dead phone and the dead phone's display did not work on the working phone. So it's a win-lose situation, as you can say. Good news! I found out that even in the worst scenarios, the Lumia 550 is a good phone. It's the only phone which actually can help you to pay. You just have to remove the back cover of the phone and then you have cash in it and you can pay. Isn't that great?